Okie dokie. I think most of my gamepad stuff, controller support, is good. Just now, I made it so there's a server browser, and when servers get created, and if servers exist and then you refresh, servers get populated as children into this scroll box widget. And I made it so that when you use your gamepad to navigate from one of these buttons into the server browser area, if there's an item in there, then when that scroll box is focused, it will get its children, find the first one, and if valid, well, oh, I guess this part doesn't matter. This isn't, actually, this should be validating the actual child, not validating the scroll box, because we know the scroll box is obviously valid. We want to make sure that, sure, there's a child, but is it somehow at an index that's above 0? Like it has one child, but it's not at the first index? That, I mean, it wouldn't make sense, but somehow if it got added there, whatever. Maybe if the server gets closed, then the child is, that one gets removed, but the next one is still the second child. Its index doesn't change. I'm not sure. Long story short, if I have, I'll just demonstrate. It's like if I have somebody creates a server, right? And then we have two other guys who are trying to join. Controller only now. Got visuals, I can do LAN only or include LAN, whatever. Do this one too, same shit. Both refreshing, we wait a second. It takes a second when it's on this mode. I probably need to have some sort of visual feedback thing so that it looks better. But, oh, actually, what'll be better than this is if this guy creates a server too, and then this guy refreshes. You can already see that it was already allowing me to join that one server. It was highlighting the button there, which means I can click it. Those two are the same. So now we're waiting. We should have two servers now. Yep. And so we see that when you go up into the scroll box, it will get the first child, that one, the top one in this case, and set focus to it. And in the server item itself, each of these, where the hell's the mouse? Each of these is a server browser item, is what I have it called. And when they're focused, which is when it gets set here, it will set focus to be its button. And that will allow, or designer, that's what we did. It will set this button to be focused because we don't care about this other info. We can't focus that, we can't change that. That's all set by the server. But we want to focus the join button. That allows us to actually choose some shit. Oh, and look, actually, one thing I do need to fix is if I'm clicking one and if I'm selecting one and I click somewhere else, right now it's good for the refresh, but and for the back button, if I click out, it'll resume focus. But if I'm on one of these games and I click out, it'll bring me actually to no, well, actually, where does it bring me to? Oh, okay, so it brings me back to either refresh or back, which actually might be a good thing. For now, I'll leave that. That's not a big thing. I was gonna say, because if one of these servers gets joined and it gets destroyed, I don't want to then set focus when you click out here back to this button if it doesn't exist anymore. So, but I guess we could have something that just goes to the next one, but maybe you don't want that. So whatever, I'll leave it for now. It works. So I can go in, I can select this one. If I start from the top, it'll focus the scroll box and start at the top. If I start from the bottom, it'll start at the top, which is fine. I don't want it to be like you find the lowest child when going from the bottom and the highest from the top, because then if I go up one, I would be at the lowest child right now. And if there are fucking 10 servers, you gotta go all the way up to the top just to go up and refresh again. I want you to be able to just go 1, 2, refresh, easy peasy. And then if there are 4 servers, you go down and boom. Then once they populate here, I can just go through them. Sick. So I'll join this one. I don't know why there are 4 right now, probably because I spammed refresh. That's just a hold. And see, I can leave on each one too. I mean, everything works. All the keybinds and everything work. So I can go here. I can adjust my keyboard keybinds. I can't do controller keybinds because this is the keyboard setting or section. I can individually reset them. I can reset them all. You do the gamepad ones won't do keyboards or keyboard keys. Oh, accidentally clicked out. Same, can't do mouse either. It checks to see if it's a gamepad key. So it does let me rebind all these. And I can of course reset them all individually if I want. Like that. or I could just reset them all, etc. I need to add an audio menu. I don't have that yet, but if I click out, focus will resume back where I was so the controller's not stuck. I can continue, whatever, look around. The sensitivity is mega low because, is it depending on the FOV? I've never seen it be this low. Is it because window mode? No, it's not. How is it? Why is it so low? I actually have no idea why it's so low. Okay, but we can, or I could just close it anywhere I want to. So I could be here and then close it. I could be whatever. In the graphics, I can, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh! Okay. All right. I haven't seen this issue before. Some engine action. Actor component issue, world private scene. Guessing it has something to do with the editor being open while we're changing graphic settings. And I mean, so what even happened there? So we were in the editor with multiple, with 3 levels open at the same time, because I left one of the servers, but the instance of the game was still open, because if I close one, it closes the entire game. When you create, or when you have like multiple players going on in here, is it gonna, normally it's back up by now. Did I say send and close? I bet you I did. GG. All right, well, whatever. So, excuse me. What did I change on there? I changed something. Oh, updated. So, oh wait, what is this? Yeah, dude, what a shitty comment that is. Like, what? That's a shitty commit name. But, see, it's prompting me too. So stupid. Server browser item validation. So server browser, or we'll say improved. Before setting focus. Server browser. Excuse me. The scroll box. And not the child we're setting focus to. Obviously the scroll box that always exists is always valid, but a child, not necessarily. Cute. Okay. All right. Well, whatever. So next things I need to do, I need to make it, I need to add a click animation so that there's like actual visual feedback when you press something, because right now there isn't. It's only when you're hovering over it, which is cool, but I need to make it even better. And then another would be, I need to do this just for buttons. The checkboxes are obvious. You see feedback. Clicking to change your keybinds is feedback because it changes to ... because it's awaiting your keys or your keystrokes, or your new keybind. But regular buttons right now, there's no visual feedback. It's only when you hover over it or when you focus on it. So I need to do that. So adding that feedback, but then I also need to fix another feedback, because right now there's an event that I'm overriding in my custom button widget, which is called on added to focus path and on removed from focus path. That is helpful because if I ever move up from one widget to another, it will add that widget to its focus path and call that event. That is what I use to trigger the animation to give visual feedback as you scroll up and down through stuff. Not everything has an on focused receive, and not everything's on focused received will trigger when I go up and down. So we use that instead. The problem is this. It's good and it makes using a controller awesome. Only problem is when I'm using a mouse and I think it's controller too. I think basically if I'm on a mouse and I click a widget, or if I hover over, if I click a widget and then I click another widget, the clicking will also remove the previous widget from the focus path, which means for the controller, in order to have a visual, like turning off, like a visual deselect, when you navigate away from a button, off of the button, we do an unhover animation where it goes from like high opacity to low opacity, or like high brightness to low. The problem is that also triggers when I click another button. So I could click the volume button and increase my volume, but then, or a specific graphic setting, but then if I click another button and I'm in the same menu, I will see the button that I clicked before do an unhover animation, where it will go from having high, it's not selected right now, but it will briefly go to look like it's selected and then deselect. Just like I was hovering over and I left, it looks like that when I click something else. So it has feedback on other buttons that you're not on when you click other buttons, which is stupid. So I'm not sure if I need to figure out another event to do this instead, or a custom widget, or some other custom logic or something. But I need to fix that because right now it just looks sloppy. Like if I click, if there are 3 levels that you're selecting and I choose this one and then I choose this one, not only do I see this one unhover when I hover away from it, but I will also see it unhover when I click this one. So I will see feedback here when I click this one, which doesn't make any sense. It should just be feedback, feedback, or it's like feedback when I leave and feedback when I enter. So it's leave, enter, click, but it gives feedback here, and I'll have feedback here when I actually click, but it's giving feedback on other buttons, which doesn't make any sense. So I have to fix that, but that's it for now. So more gamepad UI improvements, and then I gotta work on making the game actually fun, make it a game that I want to play, because that's what I want to do. So, all right, bye.